A lot of people have been talking about Roger Waters lately. Some people are on his side and some people are not. And he's picked a controversial, taboo topic to go around and advocate for. And a lot of people think that Roger Waters is anti-Semitic and hates Jews. I have mixed feelings on this whole boycott Israel thing, but I know one thing is for sure. He's not anti-Semitic, and he is certainly not a bigot. If you want to start a fight about it, cool. But he's definitely not anti-Semitic or a bigot. I think he really has his heart in the right place, except it's fighting for a cause that's not going to be settled ever, because when it comes to religion, it's going to last for a very long time. I know he has this view that there might be world peace someday, but I don't think it's going to ever happen. I would like it that we could have a world where without wars about religion or anything, but I doubt it's going to happen ever, because people have opinions and it just won't be settled. And I think he's trying to do it for the right reason, but a lot of people have, like, oh, he's anti-Semitic, oh, he hates Jews. His grandsons are Jewish, so I highly doubt he hates his grandson. So he really loves them, so I think it's kind of really mean saying he's anti-Semitic and that he's against Jews when he has Jewish family members, and that his grandsons are Jewish and his daughter-in-law is Jewish. So it's absurd to say that he is anti-Semitic because he has family members that are of Jewish faith, though he is atheist. I think he's just against religion at all. And even me as a Christian, religion sucks, because there's a difference between having a relationship with Jesus and religion. And religion is just, like I said, it's sad that people fight over religion. Everyone has to be right about religion, and you have to be this perfect person, and it's just, religion is different from having a relationship with Jesus Christ. And I think it's sad that people get labeled, and I'm not saying Roger Waters is a saint or perfect, or that I agree with everything he does because he's my biggest hero, but he's not anti-Semitic. I think it's really rude that people have compared him to Adolf Hitler, especially since Adolf Hitler was probably one of the people that reason why his father passed away in World War II. It makes no sense. Why would you idolize somebody who basically took your father away? That is rude because of that. I think Roger Waters, to a point, does not care what people think about him. He seems to have very thick skin. But there's a point for anybody, even the toughest person, when you're being insulted left and right, that you have to stick up to yourself. And a lot of people still think, with the Pink Floyd thing and the whole David Gilmour thing, they view this thing about Roger Waters that he's some kind of a narcissistic asshole that throws a fit when he can't has his way about something. A lot of people have grudges that he was very angry in the 70s, which was true because he had a lot of issues going on in his life. His first wife left him, and he's had a lot of issues growing up without a father, and back then, back in the 1950s and 40s, things were different. Growing up in a single-parent family was different than it is now. You see single-parent families all the time, but it was probably more of a different thing, like with having only one mother raise a child or children because he has a brother. Back in the 1940s and 50s, now we see plenty of kids growing up in single parents family because of deadbeat dads and stuff like that. But it was probably hard on him growing up when people had two-parent families and he didn't. I can relate to that because I had my parents divorced. My parents are alive, and I had to deal with that, and that made my life a little bit hectic, and I was kind of mean for a while, and so I can relate to him in that point. He has probably done some stuff that's probably jerky, but I think we all have done things that are jerky and narcissistic to a point. I think we're all narcissistic to a certain degree. No one is exempt from that, so I know he allegedly split up the band, but that bands don't stay together unless you're like Aerosmith or Hall & Oates. Bands don't always stay together, and sometimes for the best, sometimes for the worst. And he wanted to move on, and he had his own solo career, and he has his own solo career, and hopefully is making a new album. But a lot of people are butthurt about how he was 20 or 30 years ago, and he's changed a lot. And I guess a lot of people don't agree with the boycott Israel thing and think it's taboo, and Roger should just shut his mouth. He has a right to speak what he wants to, even if it's not always the best, as long as he's not hurting other people. I don't think he's anti-Semitic. I don't think he's this big jerk that everyone's made him to be. I think he's a very talented, genius artist who has had a lot of problems happen to him. I think he has his heart in the right place, I hope. I mean, I know he's not perfect, but he's not the Pope. He's Roger Waters. He's a rock star, so it's probably, you're probably like, oh, you love him so much, this is why I'm sticking up to him. And probably, yeah, but, I don't think he's anti-Semitic, and I don't think he's a bigot, and I don't think he's this big douchebag that ruined Pink Floyd. He had a lot of problems going on in the 70s. Some addiction problems, some dad problems, and some divorce problems. He's been, married 4 times, so yeah, he's been through the ringer. With the music company, losing one of his best friends to schizophrenia, and losing his dad at 3 months old, and being divorced 3 times. I don't know how he does it without going crazy. He's like about 70 years old, and huh. I can relate to him in a way, and I don't know that's crazy, but yeah. This is my Roger Waters post.